Hello guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. You're welcome back. Happy New Year to you all. So guys, today I'm going to keep it very fast and quick. So today I'm going to be talking about how to trade news, how I trade news, what steps you should use to trade news if you're interested in trading news. So guys, as you all know, yesterday we had NFP, right? Non-farm payroll. So I'll just show you the steps I use in trading news, and I'll take you through how you can trade news profitably, right? So guys, as you know, news events, whenever there's a news event, it happens very quick and very fast, right? We have like a very fast sharp. For instance, now trading NFP is released by 1:30 trading view time, which is usually 2:30 Nigerian time. As you know, I trade from Nigeria. So guys, before that time, you need to be seated, right? You need to be seated on your computers. You need to be ready to trade the news, right? By say 2:20, you should be sitting down by your computer and then be getting ready to trade this news, right? So how I trade the news is that first of all I go to Forex Factory. So I'm just going to be taking you there quickly. So I go to Forex Factory. Now this is Forex Factory. Before the news was released, there will not be an actual, right? You can see that we have non-farm employment change, right? And you can see that it's marked red, which means that it is very volatile news, very volatile news. It means that it's going to move the market, guys. So as you can see that previously for December, the value we had was 256k, right? And then they had forecasted that we were going to be having at least 200k. Now non-farm employment change, it shows the number of people that are employed aside the agricultural sector, right? People that are employed in the US aside the agricultural sector, right? So now what this simply means is that when the news was released, you can see that the actual value we got for the month of January is 223k. Now it means that 256k people were employed, right? And then for the month of January, it's just 223k people that still have these jobs, right? Now this simply means that there's going to be a weakness in the United States dollar, right? Because employment rates, as you know, NFP is one of the major news. If you're a trader, NFP is one of the major news you want to look out for in the trading industry, right? So you want to really focus on this news. Then we also have CPI. We have news from Bank of England. Do you get? We also have FOMC. These are the news I really put my eyes to look out for while on a monthly basis, right? Because NFP is released on the first Friday of every month. So as you can see here, previous details, previous value was 256k, and then the one that was released yesterday was 223k, right? So you can see the effect on the US dollar index. Now you can see the effect on the US dollar index here. You can see that the US dollar index got weakened. Let me just show you this quickly. You can see that there was a lot of sell happening on the US dollar index. There's a weakness. Now this is as a result of the NFP, right? The value of the NFP that came out was actually lower than the previous. So this is going to give you a weakness in the US dollar. And now guys, you know that I trade the GBP USD, right? So what I trade is inversely proportional to the US dollar. So if there is a weakness, if there's a bearish move or if there's a weakness in the US dollar, then we'll be looking for buying opportunities on the GBP USD. So let me just take you there to show you what I mean by this, right? Guys, can you see what's happening here? Can you see that on GBP USD, what did we get on GBP USD? We got this bullish momentum on the GBP USD, right? So before trading the news, you want to be seated on your computer. You want to be looking at Forex Factory. I get my news source from Forex Factory, right? So you want to be looking at Forex Factory. When the news comes out, you want to be prepared. You know, just check the values, and then you want to now come to take a trade on the currency at which you are trading. Now, so upon spotting that the news that was released was was going to be bearish or a weaker news for the US dollar, I'm going to be expecting to buy more on the GBP USD, guys. So this is how you trade news. And then my advice also for people that want to trade news, if you are a funded trader, I would not advise you to use your prop firm accounts to trade news, guys, because of how volatile uh, these news events are. I would not advise you to use your funded account to trade news. And also, if you have a lot of capital in your personal account, I would also not advise you to use your personal account to trade news. What I would suggest you do, if for instance you have a $10,000 account that you are trading your personal funds, and you are willing to risk $500 or let's say $1,000 from that amount, what I would advise you to do is to move that amount you're willing to risk into a different account, right? Because most often at times your stop loss will not hold, right? So you don't want to say, okay, from this $10,000 I'm just going to set my stop loss, you know, I want to risk $500 or I want to risk $1,000, because of how volatile these news are, and when it happens there's always a sharp spike, right? So if you are not if your analysis is wrong, for instance, you are going to blow your account, guys. You are going to blow your account, so you don't want to do that, right? Even if you're setting a stop loss to hold that, say you don't want to lose more than $500, $1,000, and you're setting a stop loss, because of how quick and fast the volatility comes into the market when the news is released, your stop loss will not hold, so you may end up blowing your account. Same thing with your take profit. Most often at times your take profit may not get triggered, so you may have to close that trade manually, right? So if you are seated on your computer and then you have analyzed and then the news goes your way, you want to manually close the trade by yourself and take profit, because most often at times these brokers, when you are trading news, there's always this kind of delay. What we traders call it is slippage, right? So there's always this slippage that happens where your stop loss is not triggered or your take profit is not triggered. So you have to always do these things manually. So my suggestion to you, if you want to trade news, set an account aside for news trading. Do you get? So you move what you are willing to risk into that account. Now you do not even have to use stop loss on that account, because if for instance you want to risk $500, you simply move it into that account, and you know that on that account you have just $500. Now you can now trade freely. You do not even have to use stop loss, right? And then you can set your take profit level, but most often at times it will not get triggered, so you may have to close that setup yourself, guys. So if you want to trade news, my advice would be get a separate account for news, right? Put what you want to trade into the account, the amount you're willing to risk into the account, and then, guys, that is how I trade news. My news source is Forex Factory, right? So you just want to go to Forex Factory here, and then just maybe do like a bit of background analysis to see. I trade NFP a lot, I trade CPI, I trade FOMC, so I am kind of familiar with this news. But this is where you have it, right? For NFP, non-farm employment change, these are the values that came out, and then you can see that it was bearish, right? Previously, for the month of December, we had 256k, while for the month of January, we had 223k. Now, this is showing you that there are more people that are unemployed, right? People lost jobs, kind of. So this simply means that the US dollar is going to get weakened, right? As we have here. As you can see here, this is a live chart. So the US dollar, you can see the weakness there, right? So the US dollar got weakened as a result of this news that came out yesterday, NFP, right? So for the GBP USD, it means that I'm going to be seeing bearish movements, which I have taken you to. We saw bearish movement, bullish movement. Sorry, we saw bullish movement on the GBP USD. Now, for those trading direct US currencies, for instance, USD card, yeah, those currencies that are powered by the US dollar, they are also going to be getting bearish selling movements happening in those pairs, right? Because those pairs are powered by the US dollar. I myself, I trade GBP USD, so my pair, my currency that I trade is powered by the GBP, right, in association with the US dollar. So if the US dollar is experiencing a selling move, I will be experiencing a buying move on the GBP USD, right? So guys, I'm just going to keep this very short. This is how you trade news, guys. The advice is always to move what you are willing to risk into a separate account, and then you trade it off there, guys. So it's nice being here with you. I look forward to seeing you next time. If you're new on this channel, you want to hit the like and subscription button so that you can get notified when we drop new content, guys. See you next time. Peace out. Thanks for watching.